Now existence, you see, is something that is spontaneous.
In here, I'm going to take you guys through a warm-up, go over a few common alignment issues that people carry into the gym. Hopefully we can get rid of them before we start loading our bodies, picking up heavy weights, whatever you plan to do at the gym that day. So the first thing I notice with most people is a lot of neck issues. If you take a bad neck and a forward carried head into whatever work you're going to be doing at the gym, you don't allow your tissues to load properly. You've got this thing carrying forward, you got to pull it back while you're working out. You want to make sure it's in the right spot before you start going. So what we'll do first is we'll just address forward head posture. So a lot of times people just want you to wrench your head backwards, but what we'll do is we'll stand a little taller. Imagine the head's full of air and it's got to pick you up off the ground so that all three cavities of your torso are in alignment. We're going to go over just at first by pushing the palm onto the sternum and put the first two fingers on the chin. We're going to imagine the jaw as a train on a train track, and we're going to draw it back. You want to kind of hear the vocal cords going a little weird here. We're going to let it hang back forward where it naturally falls, and we're going to draw it back again. Try not to creep your shoulders up to your head, keep them down, and we're going to go through 10 repetitions that you can drop the hand once you kind of know where you're going with things. Keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth behind the two front teeth, and keep your jaw closed but not clenched. It's going to look funny. Imagine giving yourself a double chin and a weird voice. So once you got about 8 to 10 of those and your head's kind of retracted back, things are good. Next, we want to go through lateral flexion. So you stand straight forward, you kind of keep a little bit of that chin retraction that we began with. And then we're going to try to touch our left ear to our left shoulder. Not trying to force anything, and notice I'm not hanging out here doing it. I want to keep everything back and just reach that down toward the ear, not forcing anything. You don't want to jam up the neck. It's going to be dangerous to wrench on. You just want to use gravity to slowly lower. We'll go back up to center, take it back the other way. Give it a little bit of time. Don't come out of the neck stretch too fast. So you don't want to and then make something get really pissed off. So we'll go back down, other way. A common problem is you'll see this. That shoulder will try to compensate, and that's that neck muscle being real short, and it just naturally wants to help out. So keep your shoulders down, chest and clavicles broad, and we're just going through a few more lateral flexions here. Next up, we'll go over the levator scapula or the trap, or just another neck muscle. And we'll go from here, we'll look to the left, and we'll try to sniff our armpit, touch our chin to our clavicle, and then we'll go back up to center. We'll do the other side here. Look as far to the right as you can. Touch the chin to clavicle. Don't let that shoulder come up and help out. Keep the arms down, clavicles broad. Just getting everything into position and lengthened out. Again, go slow, don't overdo it. We're just getting that trap muscle to release and relax before we start hitting any weight. Next up, we'll head to the floor and we'll get some of the thoracic cavity. So we just did cervical neck. Now we'll get into the thoracic mid-back, opening that up as well. Alright, so now we're going to go over a little bit of thoracic extension or mid-back extension. Keep our spines in a C shape a lot of the time. So to keep the ribs back and the head back, we want to get some of that real locked up stuff opened back up, which is not too difficult, but it's kind of boring and not the most fun exercise to do. So we'll come down to the ground. You're going to put that right where your bra strap would be. If you're a guy, you have no idea where that would be. Then just kind of at the base of the ribs or at the bottom of the shoulder blades. We're going to keep the chin back a bit. We're going to guard the base of the skull with interlaced fingers. Elbows will come pretty close to each other. We don't want to keep them sprawled out. Keep these close together. And without letting the ribs jut up like this, we're going to kind of flex the abdomen, keep a little bit of the tone in it. And we're just going to mold very slowly over that first spot. Getting some extension there. Take a little pause at the end. Make sure you're breathing. Coming back up. Not crunching. We're just going to go to neutral. Back down. And we're going to get 3 to 4 repetitions. We don't want to beat it up too bad. And then we're going to pick the hips up, roll down about 1 inch. If you couldn't see that, that's probably a good thing. Kind of make it invisible. We're going to go 3 to 4 extensions again, back to neutral, keeping those ribs down, not letting them flare out. And we'll pick our hips up one more time, cruise down in. This time we'll be a little closer to the skull. You'll get a little less extension as you move up, that's normal. 3 extensions there. And again, this is if you have a foam roller. If not, some of those neck exercises in the beginning of the video will be sufficient. Or you can practice that same thing in all fours. So come down to all fours. We'll have the toes under the heel in this one. And then the hands will be a little wider than shoulder width. Want to keep the head retracted here. And then we're just going to do some mid-spine bends. So I'll turn to the side a little further. Drop the chest down. Come back up to neutral. So you get that same extension in all fours. It's not going to be as efficient as the foam roller, but it will get some mobilization in that mid-spine. So from there, we got our extension down in thoracic extensions. And so what we now want to do is untuck those feet, rock back as far as we can so the hips are back and down. We're going to take the elbows to the knees. From here, you'll take the right hand either to the low back or to the back of the neck, whichever is more comfortable. For me, it's the low back, palm up on the low back. Without shifting my hips left and right, I'm going to reach my elbow and shoulder blade up to the ceiling, and I'm going to try to look up to the ceiling. I don't want any movement in my hips. I don't want to take my chest out to the side. I want to keep my spine very centered through this motion. And then I'll come down and try to touch your shoulder to the floor if you want to do a little flexion here. And then we'll come back up to the ceiling. We're going to do about 5 repetitions here per side. If this is really tough, go a little slower. Don't try to push into big ranges of motions too early. Gentle with it, incremental with it. Switch sides. Left hand back here again, or on the neck. I'll demonstrate that one. We'll do 5 repetitions. Try not to shift the hips or deviate the hips. If you want to go more than 5, feel free. I'm going to go 10 to 20 each side. More the better, as long as you're not getting any irritation through them. From here, we're going to get into a little bit of rocking. So rocking moves every joint in the body. So for this one, you're going to want to have the toes tucked under. We're going to push back into the heels. As we want to find some stretch in the calf and the big toe. We want to keep the elbow pits forward and the mid-back, neck all retracted, big and strong, like you're trying to push through the floor. So the shoulder blades are engaged. From that position, we're going to rock forward until we get a little bit of flexion or extension of the wrist. Not going further than we need to. If there's any pain, back off a little bit. You're in full control of how far you go with this. Then we go back, sit into the heels, find that stretch in the toes and the calves again. And we're just rocking back and forth. Try to keep a neutral spine here. Try to keep that chin back. We don't want to do this. We're going to do about 15-20 rocks. It's going to really just prime all the joints in the body. Open some space up. Again, elbow pits forward. Keep the arms straight. You don't want to go into the front and kind of dip out with it. Elbows there. So I'm just going to do a few more. Getting everything going. As you go, you'll notice you have a little more range, but not pushing into it too fast. From this position, draw those knees back. We'll go into a more of a tabletop position. We're going to take the hands out to the side, so as if we were reading a book, or reverse reading a book. And it'll be a little wider than shoulder width here. We want to keep the back neutral, head retracted, so those traps aren't cluttered. Keeping everything back here. Keep your abdomen engaged. And we're just going to do straight arms, elbow pits forward, little shifts. It could look like this, or it can look a little more opened up. Again, with the wrist, be really careful not to put too much pressure on them too quickly. So start slow. The further you take your butt back with wrist stuff, the less pressure you're going to find in your wrist. So if it's hurting up top, you can go back here, and you can slowly build your way into doing even really far forward. So after that one, we're going to take the hands now into open book one. So go a little wider, keep those fingers spread, put a little bit of pressure. Again, if it's too much, lean back. Find your gauge your pressure, and we're going to do the same thing, kind of rocking. Keep those elbow pits forward. We don't want to see this stuff, because again, look what it does to the neck, clutters that shoulder. Keep those elbow pits forward, neck clear of the shoulders. A few more rocks here, again, gradual. Keep things moving slowly. Intentionally be mindful of where you're going. Then we'll go into fists, and we'll do some circles. So the wrists are a big one. People get a lot of wrist issue, a lot of carpal tunnel. People always complaining about pressure in their wrists. It's because we don't load them. So if you're in good health, start working on them now. Get your wrists moving. There's so many bones. Same is true for the ankle. They can be put in so many different positions that we want to load them gradually in different positions as often as possible to bypass any issues that may arise later with your training. So from that position, you can twist your wrists up like that, go into different positions, rock your wrists, but again, moving into these things over time. Another one would be starting out with the open book, closing the fist, going down forward. So these would be things to achieve as you build that strength up. So the next one, we'll just go into a seated position. And you want to think about the ankles the same way. They're a little harder to manipulate. We have a little bit of a disconnect with them since we wear shoes all the time. So what we want to do is check first internal and external rotation of the shank, or the tibia and the fibula, and then the feet. So what we want to do is we want to take our fists to our side, clamp them in the middle, and you want to take your feet out. Chances are most of you are going to have some real gnarly range there, and it's kind of worthless. We're usually struggling with that internal rotation. So taking your fists like this, pressing your kneecaps into your fists here, clamp them down, keep your heel down, and try to go in and out. So normally it looks about like that. We want to get to where we're getting all the way in. I might have gotten too close to the camera there. So we'll do about 15 repetitions of that internal rotation, making sure we have that range of motion. This should make the feet act up quite a bit. And again, we'll do about 8 or 9 of those. And then now that we've got the internal range of motion, we'll do a little bit of dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. You can either sit up straight like this, or you can take one leg in, and we're just going to keep the front of the quadricep toned and tense. We're going to try to touch our toe to our knee, and then try to touch the ball of our foot to the floor. Try to get lots of range in there. Sit up tall and curl over your knee here. We'll go back and forth. Do about 5 per side here. Getting some motion into the calf muscle, ankle. And we'll switch sides. We'll try to touch that toe to the front of the calf. Point it forward. Keep that top of the quad tense. So we're having a closed chain there. Try to keep that knee straight like I'm not doing. A couple more there. Awesome. The next one will be inversion, or eversion and inversion of the feet. We'll actually go over more of the inversion. So with our arches collapsing on a lot of people, we want to make sure that we're using that muscle to draw the foot upward. And so what we'll do is, again, we'll take one leg in, we'll curl that foot around so you can take it in or out. You want to take it in, set it here, and then with that curl in, you'll feel your arch kind of light up. Once that arch is lit up, we'll take this ball of the toe, we'll try to touch it here. It'll be a really small movement, you probably won't be able to see it here, but you can let it all the way down and then curl, that arch, trying to basically touch arch to your inner calf. So you're just getting, while it's inverted, some movement here. Get about 10 of those, you'll feel the outside of the calf kind of cramp up. Cramps are okay. Push into them. Once they get intolerable, shake it out. Go right back into it. Usually the nervous system will reallocate what muscles are at work, and those will calm down. Doing a few more here. Switching sides. Do about 10 per side. Using that arch to draw up toward the ceiling. This has to do with the whole inner leg chains. If you have weak inner thighs or adductors and flat arches, this is the kind of stuff that will really get those lit back up, moving right. Maybe about 2 more on this side. So from there, you shake them out. Again, the feet don't move a lot, so they like to cramp up, get angry. Give them some space when they're angry, let them calm down. So the next thing, we'll stabilize the shoulders from the floor here and go from there. We're on the floor now. We're going to stabilize the shoulder. We're going to take the left shoulder or arm into a field goal. Mother effort. Alright, we're on the floor now. We're going to stabilize the shoulder girdle. It likes to creep forward. We can grab it a lot. We're going to pin it back and start to put some motion in that pin. So what we're going to do is lay on the ground with our knees up. That left arm will go into a field goal position from the shoulder right above the armpit. We want to imagine that's pushing into the ground. We're going to straighten our right leg, reach our left leg, and to only reach it far enough where you can still pin that shoulder down. You don't want to let it creep up like that. So take that guy down, reach this leg away from that stable shoulder. With that pin, we're going to glide or do some wall angel type or floor angel type motions. So dragging friction behind the forearm, and you hear my voice how tough this is. You want to draw the elbow and hand up and down, keeping that shoulder pinned, and getting these tissues away by drawing the leg away. Make sure you're breathing. We're going to do about 10 repetitions here. From that position, you'll relax everything back into neutral. Take that right arm out into field goal position, straighten the left leg, reach the right foot. Get some stretch through this chain here. Pin that shoulder down, 10 repetitions. Breathing, try to fill your ribs big on the inhale. An intentional exhale. A little bit of pressure on that exhale helps, so a hissing sound will help create more intra-abdominal pressure. Last one. Awesome. From this position, we're going to go into a dead bug. We're going to have the legs up at 90-90. We're going to have the head rested and the arms up like a zombie toward the ceiling. From here, you really want to keep those ribs down. You don't want to be like this where the shoulders get cluttered. You want to draw those ribs down, try to smash your low back into the floor. From this position, we're just going to do some belly breathing. Trying to create some pressure in the abdomen. So imagine your belly's like the sunrise. And on the exhale, we try to keep that sunrise. You can hear that shaking in my voice. That's the deep flexors of the anterior chain freaking out a little bit. Take the hands up forward and do 2 more breaths like that. From this position, we're going to do a matrix, activating the contralateral chain and the flexion chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach that left foot, right arm, keep that low back smash. That might mean you stop here. If I go too far and my low back lifts up, we're going to have a little bit of impingement in the back here. So we'll keep those ribs down, only reach as far as we comfortably can. Back to center. We'll do opposite side, keep the low back down. We're going to do 5 of these per side. Keep that low back smash. This will be really taxing. It's a great ab workout if you're looking for something traditional and you don't like crunches. If You can just prop your head up on a yoga block, so you might not want to have no support. So support the neck as needed. So that guy should be nice and taxed, and the bridge between your legs and arms is now in effect. Last thing we'll go over before a little bit of a cool down will be the 8-point plank or the elbows and knees plank. So I'll be down in this position. I'll take my hands to the side, tuck my chin back. I'm going to take my hands where my elbows are right at chest height, and then I'm going to dig my knees into the floor and lift my hips up, keeping my spine in a good position. So we'll come up like this. This should be pretty taxing. If someone were to lay a PVC pipe on my back, I wouldn't have anything drooping here. So I want everything supported and my spine in a neutral position. From this position, we're just going to hold and think of that same sunshine belly breathing. One more. Come out of that. So now that we kind of activated the abdomen, and we put ourselves on all fours, and we're really making the abdomen support us in that plank position. If you're in a plank position and you don't feel your abdomen working, it means your low back's probably hyperextended, such as this. And that is not good, so we're bringing that up, drawing the head back, and teaching the body how to make some strength with a neutral spine. So rolling patterns can also be incorporated in a warm-up, but they're also really good for elongating and relaxing tissues in their full chains after a workout. So if you want to revisit this before or after or both, always okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay in an X. Feet will be a little wider. Hands will arguably be reaching right behind you. And we're going to take our right leg and reach it to the left, and we want that to drive a roll onto our stomachs. So we want to be pretty passive with the tissues from the ribs up. So we're just going to take that right leg again. Want to have a dead upper body. Draw this guy into length to roll us over. We'll do the same thing on the other side, reaching the left leg, collapsing over. Leave the chest down as long as you can, reach that left leg back over, and then there you go. You do that 10, 15 reps, 20 reps, then you want to do arms. So arms are straight out, reaching until the lower body follows. Take that hand behind you. Thumb is washed by the eyes, letting the legs draw. Back around. Great way to just relax the body after a workout. Alright, and the weird thing I like to end a lot of my training with is shaking the body. You see a deer get really scared, and then say a big noise happens, and that deer gets scared, it'll go back to eating. I think the second or third time it gets scared, it will shiver after it's scared to shake all that stress out of the body. So if you're hitting the weights heavy or doing any type of exertion with your body, you want to shake all those tissues back into a rested length. So what we're going to do first is go over arm shaking. Arm shaking doesn't want to look like this. You don't want to be tense anywhere. You want to get from the top of that shoulder down to the hand, shaking. You can do lifts of the arms, but keep those arms shaking. You want to feel like a jiggly person. So you kind of get everything moving off the bone so the tissues are kind of just flinging around. Next up would be the legs. Good way is just to shake them pokey pokey style. Out to the side, get a little movement to the side there. Shake them. And we'll shake that left leg, get it all out. Try to shake it all the way up to the butt. After that, put both feet on the ground and just kind of shake the whole body. It's a little rhythmic. If you don't get it at first, keep trying it in public. No one will think you were ridiculous. So shaking everything. You can also add the shake of the legs and the upper body. Shake everything out. Do a little bit of jumping in circles with the arms relaxed and going crazy. You can do a running man in the center. Getting all those tissues shaking and relaxed. Now you can go relax after your workout, get on with your day, enjoy the other things.